Good morning, folks. Bill Thompson for Outside Insiders. I'm very well, thank you very much. Can I ask a show of hands who flew to Melbourne for the show today?
Yeah, I flew.
Okay, thank you for acknowledging that. There's often controversy over people trying to reduce their carbon footprint. I walked around here today, so my carbon footprint is probably way less than everyone else here. So I just thought I'd point that out. We live in interesting times, don't we?
We do.
Do you think that the Xi Jinping regime spread the COVID pandemic around the world and then covered up what had actually happened? You have no opinion? I'll not answer that. I appreciate that journos don't want to talk about current political preferences, but the 2019 election, can I ask who preferred Scott Morrison at the last for a PM at the last election, and who preferred Bill Shorten at the last election? It's a fairly straightforward question.
The voters answered that, didn't they?
Okay, and is anyone prepared to give me a definition of what is a woman? I'm of the view that it's a person of the human nature, a female, and I'm surprised that there are some people, particularly a SCOTUS nominee, who says you've got to be a biologist to answer the question, what is a woman? I'll leave you folks to it. Thank you for your forbearance.
See you.
Bill Thompson for Outside Insiders. I like to, well, I'll cross the road. I like to seek to engage visiting journos when they're in town. Sometimes they're prepared to have a chat and sometimes they're not. I, of course, am of the view that the Xi Jinping regime has stonewalled and covered up the true origins of the COVID pandemic. And based on my reading of reported passenger movements in early 2020 out of Wuhan to destinations around the world, I believe that the Xi Jinping regime committed an act of war in spreading the pandemic around the world while they were busy locking down their own citizens to prevent the spread. There's speculation currently about the situation in Ukraine and frantic efforts by the global community to do everything possible not to start World War III. My personal view is that World War III started in early 2020 with what I regard as Xi Jinping regime's attack on the rest of the world, biological attack on the rest of the world, and their subsequent stonewalling of attempts to try and work out exactly what happened. As for what happens in Ukraine, and perhaps the Solomons, and perhaps Taiwan, I think trouble's coming, and steps ought to be taken now to deal with it. Bill Thompson for Outside Insiders.